Hi, hello folks, how are you doing? This video today is I'm going to be talking about the issues of it's regarding like education related. So, you probably must have known if you have family or kids who are in public school, private schools, or homeschool, that's good for you. No hard feelings, nothing against it. It's great because it's a way of you know, getting your kids to develop some talent and skills by themselves and at their own pace or at the pace of people around them and the closest around them. While I personally have no problem with homeschooling, but as long as you have the right resources, the right equipment, and the right standards of skills, I am happy that if your kid wants to develop skills or talent at their own pace without any type of specific standard classroom style, then that's good. But if you have kids who want to socialize in public schools and learn the environment around them and, you know, learning how to cope up with their own pace inside a classroom, that's good. Nothing personal against that. I came from a public school background from K to 12. Well, before I was in first grade, I was in a private Christian institution back when I was living in Inglewood in California. But I think that was when I started with my first grade. That was I was already in the public school system. So from first grade to 12th grade, I had no problem. I had mixtures of feelings, good teachers, good friends, bad friends, having close friends throughout the years. And it turned out okay, even though it was a mediocre feeling. I have no problem with, bringing what needs to be brought in schools like coding, education, like money related to taxes and finances, that part. Now, my problem with the those who are advocating for homeschool today are not your typical ordinary people who say or explain how why they want their kids to homeschool. Well, I personally have nothing against homeschool, but the problem with this narrative of those who are advocating for homeschool are coming from very wealthy individuals. They're coming from the same very people from very wealthy backgrounds and from very well off to do people. And it's kind of funny because the same people who are advocating for homeschooling have sent their family members to a charter school, which charter school, if you know what it is, it's a private run school but paid for by the government, or like they're private religious institutions, and then they have their private tutors after school, or they have their private tutors at home school from very well off background. And it's kind of ironic because the same government officials who are pro homeschool are the same people who say that wide public information in public schools, or widely very well off, well informed books that are being sold in libraries, is woke indoctrination or wide woke left wing indoctrination. And it's kind of ironic because these are the same people who preach so called moral values, and yet they're the ones who are caught doing immoral stuff when new scandals comes out. So one of the things about um, these homeschool advocates is that they are the same people who want to put more money, more government money into private institutions and charter schools that are paid for by the government, and then they're the ones who say that public schools suck, or they don't want to put any more funding for public schools. Like, what are the best legitimate resources, or more food and more learning supplies to public schools. They want to ban those. So the problem is that with this public school system is, you know, because that's where all the wide, public information is at in these public schools. And, you know, teachers in public schools are one of the most, underpaid people in the education system or in the whole country. But so I think what really needs to be done is that there really needs to be specific things that need to be brought into public schools, like taxes, finances, and financial education, financial literacy, because it will help enhance and develop uh, kids to become express their talent, and it's up to them if they want to go to college or not. But the problem with this narrative is that the these same people who say that the public education has a very rotten problem, like they lack chores, teaching chores, or teaching basic things aside from math or science, or teaching them home stuff, cleaning or kitchen stuff, are actually the same wealthy individuals that are advocating for, more private schools instead of public schools. And they're the ones who say that uh, that the public education system sucks. But the problem with this public education is that it was designed by these same wealthy individuals for what? To produce more workers. As in the memoir of John David Rockefeller, the most famous wealthy individual, said, I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. Because he knows that in order to create this public education to teach them the basis of ignorance, so that it will make more people to work and work and work and work and work for employers. And so that's why, you know, this is something that you will never hear from wealthy individuals who say that public schools suck. Well, it's the same group of very, very wealthy individuals who established them in the first place. And it was the Rockefeller family who did establish the General Education Board and the public school system in the first place in order to produce more workers. Because, if you, as Frank Zappa said, the rock star Frank Zappa said, schools and public schools are teaching people to be ignorant with style. Well, that's the same thing of like why the public school system is at this in the first place. But the problem with the, what should I say? The problem with the people are who are asking questions about the defunding education is that the same specific wealthy groups of individuals who are the ones that are advocating for, being, bragging about homeschooling their kids are the same people who are calling for defunding the education. And they're the ones who say that public libraries are promoting woke indoctrination. The financial guru, the Rich Dad Poor Dad author, Robert Kiyosaki, said that the A students work for C students. And it is true that there's a reason for that. I am a very successful person. My my grades are mostly a B or a C, and and I'm proud of it. Nothing. I don't regret having these types of lower grades. But the truth is that that's the reason why in the public schools they want to raise you to get A plus, even though they want you to think that all answers are wrong and only one answer is right. And in fact, there are all answers that are right in specific questions. And they created this disciplinary system, like, ask to go to the bathroom, or they punish you or put you in detention if you cause trouble, because it's a way to program you, to put you in control, to keep you subjugated, to keep you in constant fear. And that's one thing I've learned, what being in the public school is about. And that's one thing I've learned, with all this, super information highway called the internet, had been gathering archives of, why the public schools were meant to be there in the first place. And that's why these wealthy individuals, they're so scared of knowledge, because, knowledge is power. And when you're someone in the lower level, and you question the status quo, it scares off these very wealthy, well-off to do individuals who enjoy their high lifestyle thanks to the status quo. So to the bottom line is that, don't buy into these narratives of people who are so super homeschool, because they're not really homeschool. They send their kids to these charter schools or private institutions, and then later, maybe later the next 2 years, they're gonna homeschool their kids. While me personally, again, I have no problem with homeschooling people, but the problem with these advocates of homeschooling is that they're actually coming from this very wealthy, greedy individuals who are just scared of knowledge because it's power. So they use their voices as government officials to advocate for defund the public education, and in the support of these lobbyists who are so pro homeschool. So, don't buy into this narrative that, you know, this homeschool thing, because these are actually the very same people that are the reason why, people are lagging behind in education in the first place. So, you know, don't fall to this narrative, do your research, and find out who are these people who are advocating for these things. And so have a nice day.